The protagonist Renfield is in a church with a self-help group, and he spoils part of the movie for us.
Come on, man.
Whoa, that was a lot. Maybe we should just back up to the beginning.
He tells us that at the beginning of the 20th century, Renfield was a real estate lawyer. He meets Dracula to arrange a land deal and ends up becoming his assistant. Later, he becomes Dracula's familiar, which gives Renfield powers when he eats bugs.
What?
Dracula calls him, telling him the hunters have returned. Dracula kills one of them. Renfield goes to help him, and the hunters manage to capture Dracula. Renfield saves him. Dracula kills the guy, but then the other hunter burns Dracula with sunlight. Dracula kills the hunter, but he's already badly burned, and that's how it begins. Welcome to Random Recaps. In this video, I am going to recap the movie. 90 years later, in New Orleans, Renfield is in a support group for people in codependent relationships. He's there to listen to people who have been abused by their partners, so he can then go after their abusers and bring them to Dracula. So, he goes after the girl's lover, who stole a drug. They think Renfield is a hitman sent to kill them, and Renfield says,
I'm a friend of Caitlin.
Drug dealers laugh at Renfield, so he knocks everyone out with chloroform, and then the real hitman arrives and fights with Renfield. The hitman was about to cut Renfield's tongue, but Renfield eats a bug that gives him powers and manages to defeat him even though he's wounded. Renfield goes after Teddy Lobo, the person who sent the hitman, but Teddy gets away. After that, Teddy encounters a sobriety checkpoint run by Rebecca Quincy. The police look at Teddy Lobo. Teddy tries to escape, but they catch him. After that, Renfield drags the bodies to bring them to Dracula, who is in bad shape. Dracula is angry because Renfield isn't bringing him good food since he wants innocent people.
A bustle of cheerleaders.
Dracula heals Renfield because his blood can cure. At the police station, Teddy is released from custody by corrupt police officers, and Rebecca gets angry with them. Then she talks to her sister Kate, an FBI agent, and complains that they haven't done anything to catch Lobo. After that, Teddy goes to talk to his mother, who tells him that the Lobo family has lost its reputation since they used to be the most feared criminal family, but now anyone can rob them. Rebecca goes to find clues to catch Lobo. Meanwhile, Renfield is at a restaurant looking for innocent people for Dracula. Rebecca goes to the same restaurant, and Teddy confronts Rebecca. Renfield is about to knock people out, but Rebecca arrives and gets scared. The criminals arrive, and Renfield tries to eat a bug but drops it. Teddy mocks Rebecca because the Lobos killed her father. He tells Rebecca that if she admits they are superior, he won't kill her, and Rebecca says,
Shoot me. What?
Renfield eats a fly and attacks Teddy, stabbing him with a fork. He fights the other criminals and kills some, and Rebecca does too. Renfield is amazed by Rebecca and her bravery, as she wasn't afraid of the criminals. Rebecca thinks Renfield is a soldier because of how he fights and thanks him for saving her life.
Thank you. You saved my life.
Dracula calls him, and Renfield says,
Do you think it's too late to grab one of those nuns?
Renfield goes to Dracula, and we see that Dracula now has a world domination plan, wanting to become a god. Renfield seeks support from his help group. He says he has a toxic relationship with his boss. Renfield has taken the group's teaching seriously and decides to settle in an apartment. He buys clothes and then goes to the police station to testify.
Thank you for coming in, Mr. Renfield. It really means a lot.
After that, the Lobos realize Renfield killed their criminals, and the mother sends Teddy to kill him. Meanwhile, Rebecca sends the DNA from the pen she found as evidence for analysis because she believes the Lobo killed those who stole the drug. Teddy and his henchmen go looking for Renfield and find Dracula's lair. Dracula appears. Teddy tells him he's a criminal and that Renfield killed many of his people and saved innocent people. Dracula gets angry and goes after Renfield. He's angry with him for killing the criminals and saving innocent people, for abandoning him instead of bringing him food, and he calls him a monster for leaving his wife and daughter.
You're the monster, Renfield, not me.
So Renfield shows him his self-help book, saying he won't tolerate the abuse anymore. Dracula threatens him and takes the book, realizing who was helping him. Meanwhile, Rebecca investigates a woman who was coincidentally in the support group. Renfield goes to the church to warn his companions that they need to leave. That's when Dracula arrives.
We're screwed, okay? We're screwed.
He starts flying. Renfield begs Dracula not to kill them, but Dracula doesn't care and kills them all. He then tells him all of humanity will suffer for betraying him.
You betrayed me.
Rebecca arrives and sees Renfield with the corpses, so Rebecca arrests him. Then the Lobos and the corrupt police officers arrive, wanting Renfield. The chief offers Rebecca a better position if she hands over Renfield, but Rebecca refuses and takes Renfield, getting shot in the process. So Teddy's mother orders them to be found. And now Rebecca is treated as a fugitive from the law. Dracula forms an alliance with Teddy. The next morning, Renfield takes Rebecca to his apartment and makes her some cookies, even though Rebecca is furious about living in a corrupt city. Renfield tells Rebecca he works for Dracula.
What?
Her FBI sister realizes the pen had Renfield's DNA, but Rebecca says it's all good because she has him handcuffed. The criminals and police are coming after them, so they try to escape while Renfield looks for a bug to gain powers. He eats some ants and starts fighting. Together with Rebecca, he manages to defeat them all.
That son of a bitch can fly.
He tears off one person's arms and another's face, splitting someone else in half. Then Teddy arrives with new powers. He introduces his mother to Dracula.
It's the real fucking Dracula!
After that, we see Renfield telling Rebecca he made a mistake by serving Dracula and leaving his family. He always blamed Dracula for leaving his family but realized he was the one who made the mistake. Rebecca calls her sister and realizes the Lobos have her. So Renfield and Rebecca go to find weapons and lots of bugs.
And, maybe a protection circle.
Then he eats them and heads to the Lobos' headquarters, realizing Teddy has powers and inhales an insect.
Oh! Ew! What the fuck?
And we see that now the criminals have powers. Rebecca and Renfield fight them. Teddy shoots Rebecca, and she shoots him with a shotgun. Renfield goes to help Rebecca. Rebecca encounters Teddy's mom. She disappears, and Dracula appears. Meanwhile, Teddy and Renfield are fighting. Dracula tries to persuade Rebecca. He shows her her sister all beaten up. Dracula tells her his blood can bring her back to life, but only if she joins him. Renfield kills Teddy in a Mortal Kombat style. He goes to Rebecca and tells her not to join him. Rebecca pretends to agree but sets a trap to open the windows and burn Dracula with the sun. Dracula escapes. The lights go out, Dracula grabs Rebecca, and when he's about to bite her, Rebecca shoots Dracula in the foot, making him bleed and healing Renfield. Renfield attacks him, and Dracula sinks his fangs into him. Renfield manages to break free and hit Dracula, continuing to beat him, but Dracula gets up and throws him. Rebecca traps Dracula in a magic circle, then they hit, cut, and shoot him. They pour holy water on him. They pour cement on him, then throw him away. Renfield then heals Kate with Dracula's healing blood. They arrest Teddy's mom, then resurrect his friends from the church group. And now he feels better about making a new life for himself. And that's how the movie ends.